This is the Erez crossing that Israel says it will now reopen for the first time since the start of the war to allow more aid into Gaza. The port at Ashdod is also being opened for aid deliveries by sea, and more aid from Jordan will be allowed to move through the Kerem Shalom crossing. All this came soon after Thursday's phone call from an angry U.S. President Joe Biden to Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, touched off by Monday's deadly airstrike that killed 7 World Central Kitchen aid workers.
At least 4 people have been killed in Ukraine's second city, Kharkiv, in the latest wave of Russian air attacks. Several Iranian-made drones smashed into 2 apartment buildings in the overnight raid. Among those killed were 3 rescue workers whose truck was hit as they arrived at the scene. 1 civilian also died and 12 others were injured. As Russia intensifies its air and ground offensive, Ukraine has responded by lowering the age of conscription from 27 to 25.
Authorities in Los Angeles are investigating the theft of around $30 million from a money storage facility. Thieves broke into the building on Easter Sunday undetected. The missing money wasn't discovered until workers opened the vault on Monday. The facility stores cash from local businesses. As yet, no arrests have been made.
What time is it on the moon? Well, soon we might actually be able to answer that because the US has asked NASA to establish a unified standard of time for the moon. The White House said it was vital to set international norms as nations and private companies race to establish a more permanent lunar presence. And NASA has until 2026 to figure it out. The time zone will be called Coordinated Lunar Time.
Off the coast of the Canary Islands, the Spanish Coast Guard have rescued 73 migrants from a wooden boat at sea. The boat was towed by the Coast Guard on Thursday to the island of Gran Canaria. Spanish Coast Guard personnel were seen attending to injured migrants and a child. Frontex, the EU border agency, said the route to the Canary Islands currently has the largest traffic of irregular migration from West Africa into Europe.
South Africa is mourning yet another killing. A footballer and Olympian, Luke Fleurs, was killed in a hijacking in Johannesburg on Wednesday. The defender was shot while waiting to be attended to at a petrol station in the Honeydrew suburb in Johannesburg. South African police say the attackers fled with Fleurs' vehicle and they were now investigating a case of murder and car hijacking. Between October to December last year, about 5,973 hijacking cases were reported.